It's not often that there's an event at the Knesset with Christians.
Ada Kaukus Kristen di Parlemen Israel.
Great feeling for me, and I really think
hello to Christians in Indonesia. We love you guys. We want you to come home to Israel and visit us. Our tourism ministry has a great slogan. They say, if you love the book, you'll love the country. So if you love your Bible, get over here, come visit, and see the Bible become color from black and white. You can actually use it as your tour guide. So to all my friends over there, next year in Jerusalem.
And the Christian Allies Caucus was started in 2004 here in the Knesset. We realized that it was Christians, not countries, that were standing with Israel. And they were bringing their countries with them. And we realized that if you had an economic agenda, you're not necessarily going to always stand with Israel. We don't have the oil wealth of our neighbors. And if you have a political agenda, not always a good idea to stand with Israel. One vote at the UN compared to 22 Arab votes, many more Muslim votes. It's only people who put values and beliefs ahead of economic and political concerns that will always reliably stand with the state of Israel. And that leaves what they call people of the book, both Jews and Christians. And so we knew we had a duty to reach out to our Christian friends and build a new relationship between Jews and Christians in the 21st century. And what we decided to do and how we started to make the movement grow is we came up with a concept called faith-based diplomacy. Faith-based diplomacy is when Christians take their biblical support for Israel and turn it into real political action. Today, faith-based diplomacy is the most important weapon Israel has in its diplomatic arsenal. It's the reason we have embassies once again in Jerusalem. It's the reason we have anti-BDS legislation in America that stopped financial BDS, which was started as a church movement. It's the reason we have observer status at the African Union. We have with us the IF African director, Dennis Tombe, and great to see you here. He can tell you the work that's going on the ground and this new relationship that we're building with Africa. It's all faith-based. It's pastors who are getting involved and take it to their political leadership. And so today is very exciting because the secret sauce in faith-based diplomacy is you. It's Christians who get involved. It's Christians who make the trip to Israel and learn, take the time to learn. And you can see the lives. You know what's remarkable to me this week? They came out with a study from the insurance companies, the international insurance companies, that Israel's the 5th safest country in the world. We're 5. We're the 5th safest country on the planet. But how many of you here has heard that Israel's dangerous? That Jerusalem's dangerous? That it's a dangerous place?
Yep.
So coming here is so important because we need ambassadors. We need people to push faith-based diplomacy. And that's why it's so exciting to have people in the media to learn about what you're doing today. I also have a TV show called Israel Now News that's broadcast on Daystar. And I use that show to educate Christians around the world about the importance of standing with Israel. And so if everyone just uses their platforms and gets their word out about why it's important to stand with Israel, I think that we'll see a new trend, a new movement. But what I have to say is that today faith-based diplomacy is on the rise. We're seeing it all over Africa and Latin America. We're seeing it in Europe. We're seeing it in Asia. And of course in the United States of America. Thank you. But we have to understand that as people of faith, we have a lot of work to do still. And so I like the fact that Nitzan opened this meeting in prayer. We believe in the power of prayer. Jews believe in the power of prayer just like Christians believe in the power of prayer. We need more prayer. We need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. We have Albert here from the Jerusalem Prayer Breakfast who organizes for that mission. We need more tourism. We need more people to come here. What Nitzan said is true. I know probably 75% of the people in this room. That's a problem. We need new people. We need other people to get involved. Each one of you that I know needs to bring another person to next year's Christian Media Summit. We need to develop new allies around the world. Now what we've done is something very impressive. We took the idea of the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus and we started sister caucuses around the world. In 2006 we launched the Congressional Israelites Caucus. It's the only caucus that has Republicans and Democrats in the House of Representatives in America that is pro-Israel. Then Canada started their caucus. Then the EU started their caucus. Today we have 50 Israel Allies caucuses around the world, including 1,200 legislators in our network. And we need people to be in touch with their parliament members, to strengthen them, to hold events, to show them what's important. We have a lot going on in the next few years. Let's talk about three. The first main thing that we're battling, and probably one of the hardest to fight, it's an ancient virus. No, it's not Corona. And no, Nitzan, we didn't take a break during the 3 years of Corona. It was working day and night. It's called anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is spreading like wildfire around the world. Now, it used to be that they tried to mask it. They'd say, no, we're not anti-Semites. We're anti-Zionists. It's not like the 30s where Jews weren't allowed to be professors in our universities. We're saying Israelis aren't allowed to be professors in universities. It's not like the 30s in Europe where we saying don't buy from Jewish grocery stores. We're saying don't buy from Israeli grocery stores. When we were in 1930 Germany, they said go back to Israel. Now they said go back to Europe. So what we're seeing is this real parallel in anti-Semitism, and at the beginning it started as anti-Zionism. But now they feel comfortable dropping that too. They're not saying death to Israel anymore in the events, they're saying death to the Jews. And it's not just fringe groups anymore and fringe movements. It's real political leaders, members of Congress, real celebrities.
Josh Reinstein, I'm the director of the Knesset Christian Allies Caucus and president of the Israel Allies Foundation. I want to mention to all the people in Indonesia, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Have a great year and next year in Jerusalem.
Thank you.
Salam damai dari Fakta Israel.